I have a huge list of movies that I feel like I at once compelled to see and that I want to see, and yet I'll end up watching like Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, or something.
You watched Brazil, which is a movie that you've been referencing for like 35 episodes that you have to watch.
Happy. Yeah, I'm chipping away because I can't. You know what it is? I can't keep making the same joke reference to Brazil. I gotta call it a day at some point. Saving Private Ryan can take that spot. That'll be next on my list.
Spoilers, it's good.
Oh,
good movie.
Why did you say that?
You want to talk about another good movie?
I would love to talk about another really good movie.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar wieners, Oscar wieners, Oscar wieners. These boys are the Oscar wieners.
Yum, yum.
Welcome to Oscar Wieners, the only show on the internet where Hollywood's biggest night makes a movie it shouldn't. Actually,
why did we do that?
It's not really the person or the time or the place to make this kind of movie that you make. Oscars podcast.
Crash dared to say, "What if a locksmith could also be a good father?" And for that, we love it.
I'm Thickener.
And I'm Crush.
And no, I'm Michael Easander, and this is a podcast where every week we pick a Best Picture winner at random, try to figure out if it's Best Picture worthy or if it's a pile of big dog shit. And this week we're talking about the 2006 Best Picture winner.
Wow.
See, I thought it was 2005, but I guess it came out in 2004, but maybe the release was pushed. I don't fucking know. 2006 Best Picture winner, Crash.
I mean, the fact that this came out in 2006 is really beyond me. It really feels dated in many ways.
No, I think this movie incredibly has its finger so far on the pulse. It's practically
cardiologist or something.
This is Crash, directed by fucking Paul Haggis. You know him from
don't
3 Days to a Kill. That's not what the movie's called. What is the fucking Paul Haggis? No. The Russell Crowe. The Next 3 Days, the Russell Crowe movie.
Never heard of it.
No, everybody's seen Next 3 Days.
Okay.
You got Elizabeth Banks. You got Russell Crowe. No.
And you need no one else.
No, it's directed by Paul Haggis, who's like a famous. I'd say he's most famous for he wrote he's basically a co-writer on the Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig Bond movies. They just always bring him in to punch up a Bond script for some reason. After seeing this, I can't imagine what they saw in the guy.
I have no idea what they saw in him.
Post September 11th, Los Angeles, tensions erupt when the lives of a Brentwood housewife, her district attorney husband, a Persian shopkeeper, 2 cops, a pair of carjackers, and a Korean couple converge during a 36-hour period.
Korean couple?
Yeah, you know the people at the end, the guy who gets hit, but he was also transporting people. I assume undocumented people into the U.S. and he was just gonna free them in the streets of Los Angeles to do whatever the fuck.
Thank God for Ludacris, man.
Thank God for Ludacris. Truly,
all those people would. I guess they're just roaming the streets now.
Well, that one guy just sits on the curb and is just shivering, and I'm maybe you should help them more than just dropping them off. Maybe give him some money. I don't know. Set him up in a motel for a week.
It's like this orchestral crescendo, like Ludacris just saved the day or something. And it's like these
Yeah.
people are still in massive amounts of turmoil right now.
Yeah. They don't speak the language. They don't know how the country works. They're just dropped off, and it's like, figure it out. That's America, baby.
That's LA.
God.
Meanwhile, like this, I feel like this movie has nothing to do with LA, even though it's a central part of the synopsis. Right? Like this could be Saskatchewan for all we know, and it really doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I guess it's LA in that, like, the same way that New York is like a melting pot, it's like LA is a melting pot of all these different like cultures and like people coming from different places and different backgrounds, having different experiences and like all of them converging. It's like although LA is so spread out. I don't know. It's like all these people are within like what, like a 10-block radius of each other. I don't know.
That's a fair
Like
point.
New York makes more sense because it's like you're more boxed in.
Yeah, well, there's a weird monologue in the beginning that Don Cheadle gives where he's like, if you're in your car and you crash into somebody, sometimes you solve racism or something. I don't know, some bullshit like that.
All right, let's chill out for a second.
Let's take a
ease-
breather. Let's take
ease
a
back.
breath. Let's take a breath.
We're coming in too hot. Have you ever seen this movie before?
No, I have not seen it. I've heard its reputation has preceded it, so I wanted to give it a fair shake, and I was kind of hoping to come to bat with a different take on this, other than the dog pile that people have already piled onto this thing. But
Yeah.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah. I saw this movie probably when I was like 14.
Okay.
A friend showed it to me. He was like, you gotta see Crash. Which is
Alright.
exactly what a 13-year-olds would see Crash and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's all like connected. It's about like issues.
Which
I saw it and I was like, great movie, obviously.
okay. Fair enough.
Watched it this time. I was like, this is a pile of shit.
This is a little bit stinky doo doo.
I will say it's incredibly entertaining though.
It is entertaining, but
It's
just
entertaining
because
and,
it's
like, you're just like,
ridiculous.
You sort of have your mouth held open the whole time where you're like, they're doing that?
They're really
They
doing
just said that?
They're sticking with the car motif for some reason that prevails throughout this film.
Yeah. A lot of questions. Do you want to talk about like some of the stories, like just to
Yeah, I guess that's the best way to attack this, right?
right? Because it's you know it's like a Magnolia. It's like
It's like a vantage point.
a vantage point, kind of like a almost not like Pulp Fiction-y, and the characters overlap. You know,
Yeah.
sort of like that.
It does a classic, inciting incident happens, and then we're going to jump back to 2 days earlier. And we're gonna go through every character's experience during this time.
Right.
A lot of big names in this.
Crazy.
Donnie
Crazy.
Cheese.
All right. So you got
Sandra
Don
Dee.
Cheadle.
Yeah.
So I think three people give a good performance in this movie. Michael Pena.
Okay. Yeah, he
Who was-
does.
Michael Pena plays he's like a locksmith. And he has like a little daughter who's like afraid of getting shot.
Right.
So like their little storyline is like he gives her an invisible like cloak that's supposed to protect her and make her feel safe, right?
right.
that's
It's
like
not
his
real,
little-
though.
I think his performance is good though. I think he's like very sweet, and he's also like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very like nice performance.
Yeah.
Very
I agree.
I feel like a very human performance.
I agree with that.
Don Cheadle, I think, gives another good performance. Also, asterisk to all this stuff. Every character has like 10 minutes of screen time,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right,
The acting is fine. They really just are not really given much dialogue to work with. Like, you have a lot. This is an all-star cast,
yeah.
but they're not really given many opportunities to shine.
Don
else you got?
Cheadle plays the fucking. He's a detective. He's like a cop detective guy, and he has a
Yeah.
partner. What is her name? I've seen her in stuff before. Jennifer Esposito. And they just like drive around. Don Cheadle has his mom is like, I think she has like a drug addiction. His brother, he doesn't know where his brother is. He's like kind of just like on the street doing who knows what.
Yeah.
And Don Cheadle's like the one family member who's like sort of gone straight. Like he's walking a straight line as opposed to the other members of his family. This movie is so complicated to me because it's like it really takes like a centrist point of view where it's like it'll be like Ludacris has all these thoughts about how black people are perceived by white people as like thugs and criminals. But then Ludacris will he steals Sandra Bullock's car. And I think the movie thinks it's being like ironic and like cool and like, oh, isn't that like interesting and like a nice twist? But I just think it's like it wants to like get into the humanity of like marginalized people, but like also perpetuates stereotypes about them.
Right. Well, you have a good point in saying that Ludacris is a bit of an ironic character. He feels very hypocritical.
Yeah.
Like he'll go on a soapbox about racism, but also will commit vehicular manslaughter against an Asian man and also say racist things.
Yeah.
So he's tough to pin down, I guess. At one point, he starts talking about rap music, which I thought was really funny. He's saying it was rap music was invented by the oppressors.
Right.
Yeah,
like
the FBI. Yeah. And I'm like, I hate to do this, but Ludacris is wrong about rap in this instance. Really? I hate to be the guy to jump in there, but
yeah,
it shouldn't be me to say it, but somebody has to.
Like, there's that really William Fichtner, he's my namesake in this episode.
Fichtner.
William Fichtner, I don't know who he is. He like works for the DA or something. He does something. He has this whole speech where it starts off where he's like, I'm not even gonna say. I think it's fun, but he's like he's talking to Don Cheadle. He's like, black people just can't get it together, and it's so crazy that it's in a fucking movie.
It really is.
It's so insane. I was like cringing and like I'm like, this is such a weird take, and it's like it seems like it's trying to go down the middle to be like, oh, like there are all these systems in place to like help underserved people, but then like they take but like they don't take advantage of it, or like they do the wrong thing anyway. I'm just like, this is so fucking wrong-headed. It's crazy.
Everything that it tries to say and its message is really the core of this movie, which is why I think so many people had a problem with it. Everything it tries to say is it just comes across as very juvenile and talk downy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like basic though.
Very basic.
Like it's like Paul Haggis just learned that racism was a thing and was like, I'm gonna make a movie about it.
It's like somebody's got to know about this. This is crazy. Did you know? He's like, hey, you know this racist cop? Yeah. Well, actually, his dad's sick. Okay.
You want that?
He shouldn't be racist at his job.
Like, yeah, Matt Dillon plays a cop who just the worst guy. He's racist, and like he pulls over Terrence Howard and Thandie Newton, they're married, they're husband and wife. Pulls them over, and he like assaults Thandie Newton.
Oh, full on molests her, in front of Terrence Howard.
And then you're like supposed to feel bad for him that he has a sick dad, and / later when Thandie Newton like her car flips and like it's on fire and she's like pinned under there or whatever, he's like saving her. You're like, oh my god, he's like, this is like a redemptive moment. And I'm like, what? Yeah,
it's so insane. It's like, no, this guy still sucks. Like, I don't understand what the message is here. It's like racist cops can still be good sometimes, and actually not racist cops can still be racist in the end.
Are we gonna get canceled for talking about this movie?
We didn't do this. Paul did it, not us.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Let me get to the Sandra Bullock of it all.
Oh, how she falls down the stairs and stops being racist.
What a laughable scene.
So poorly staged.
It's just comical, unfortunately. Like it's not it's supposed to be high drama, it just comes across as really silly. She is really she's overly suspicious of people who are in her house. She's married to Brendan Fraser, who's the assistant DA or whatever, so they're pretty wealthy.
Right.
She doesn't trust the locksmith, who's actually a pretty good dad, by the way, and she doesn't trust
Michael
the
Pena,
housekeeper. Yeah.
Right.
But it turns out Sandra has a pretty bad spill. And the housekeeper is the only one who's there. And then Sandra calls her her best friend, which is really sad. So it's just a bizarre arc. It's so over the top, and it just ends up being funny.
I can't believe this movie exists, honestly.
There's not one branching storyline that ends in a satisfying conclusion.
There's
You only
too
have-
many characters, and it's under 2 hours, the movie. And it's like,
Yeah.
this isn't enough time. Again, like I said, you spend 10 minutes with like maybe the principal people, like Don Cheadle, Matt Dillon, I guess. But honestly, Matt Dillon's arc is resolved by the middle of the movie. Then he's just out of it for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist with a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard, he just, after his incident with the racist police officer, he then gets his car stolen by Ludacris because serendipity, I suppose. And then he just
connected.
refuses. He's just like, I'm not giving you my car, and just snaps and is like, Ludacris is like, I have a gun. He's like, I don't care. I'm crazy now.
Yeah. See, I actually do think that storyline is kind of interesting. Like, I do think I can track in so many of these cases, I can track the psychology of these characters. I can track the psychology of like Terrence Howard being like yet again, what's the word? What's the word where you look?
Victimized?
I guess victimized. Yeah. Profiled is what the word I was thinking of. Like, by Matt
Okay.
Dillon. He's like, oh, this black couple must be doing something wrong. I mean, Thandie Newton was like giving him a BJ in the car, but like it's fine.
It was fine. Yeah. Everybody just chill out.
It doesn't mean they should be like whatever. But yeah, like
You don't need to grope his wife about it.
yeah, I could track Terrence Howard's like his masculinity being like challenged, and like Thandie Newton is like, why didn't you do anything?
Mhm.
And like she understands why he didn't do anything, but like she also kind of doesn't understand. Like she doesn't. She understands like socially why he couldn't do anything.
He's a famous TV director.
Yeah, and also
In this
just like him
universe.
being a black man, like the
Yes.
the cops have guns. They're
Right.
going to kill you.
Right.
But she also like as his partner, he's like, you should have like helped me,
Yeah.
And that storyline's like kind of interesting, like morally.
Yeah, because
And
that
then-
I understand. I understand the
Right.
conflict there.
Right. And then even Terrence Howard, like, going on a rampage, getting in a car chase
He
because his
goes
masculinity
nuts.
is so dented. He needs to do something crazy. And then the cops have him all like, they have him cornered in like a cul-de-sac. And he's like, Ludacris is like, what are we doing? What's going to happen? And he's
I don't get why they're now in cahoots, though. Like, Ludacris just tried to steal his car, and now he's like, be cool, Ludacris.
I guess I could see it as like they're two black men. Now they're up against the LAPD, and that's like different, I guess. I don't know. I think that's what the movie's saying. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's like a thing that would ever happen.
Okay, because I think what takes prominence over that is Ludacris's role as car thief, I think, in this instance, right?
Yeah. Ludacris kind of good in this movie.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Ludacris is a good actor. I love the fact
It is true. He's kind of underrated.
He's fun, like he's good at playing like a chill, laid back, confident guy. Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. But yeah, so then Terrence Howard, they're like cornered, and then like Terrence Howard gets out of the car, and he's like walking up on these cops who have like shotguns trained on him. I'm like, oh my God, be careful.
Yeah,
what are
he's
you
being
doing?
the most reckless you could be.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I get it. I get like psychologically where the story had been taking his character.
Yeah.
I understand that decision. And then
Yeah.
fucking Ryan Phillippe is like, actually, he's a friend of mine.
That's Ryan Phillippe,
And that deflates the situation.
He's the partner of the racist cop
Matt
who
Dillon.
pulled them over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
he
like,
gets reassigned by saying that he farts a lot, which is really normal.
he goes to his chief. I guess that's the chief, right? Or his captain. And he's
Yeah,
like,
Keith
hey,
David.
Keith David. He's like, can I get another like A-list actor?
Yeah. One of the best.
Can I get a transfer? My partner's kind of racist. And Keith David's like, yeah, pal. It's not news to me. Why don't you go say you fart or something, and then maybe we'll transfer you.
And
so
it's
he
like,
does.
He does, but he's like, either you say you fart, or you say that this cop who's been with the LAPD for like decades is racist, and then it's gonna implication is that I have known about it all this time. I didn't do anything about it, and then I'm gonna get fucking canned, and that's gonna be your problem. And
That's
it's like
such a tangled web, man. That's so intricate, and I'm just like, wait, what?
yeah,
Then he's
this
like
movie sucks.
But I love when he's getting calls on the radio from his fellow officers, like, "Hey, Mr. Gassy Pants needs backup, huh?"
Characters will say racist stuff to each other. Like there's a scene where Don Cheadle, he's sleeping with his partner detective. What's her name again? Pull it up.
Okay.
You're screaming at me. I can pull it up in like 2 seconds. Jennifer Esposito. He like calls her the wrong ethnicity / race, and like he's racist.
Yeah.
And like it's like, but it's used as like a punchline. It's almost like a joke. And it's like, what is this?
Who is... I think the point is that everyone has work to do, perhaps, on this front.
The movie is saying, yeah, like everybody's flawed. We all like carry racism inside of us. Like we all have the potential to be racist. We all have like these biases that like are not necessarily who we are, but like they're taught and like they become internalized, whatever. The movie's trying to say stuff like that, but then like it just like, it also like has the William Fichtner scene where he's like, he's talking to Don Cheadle and he's like, black people just can't get it together, am I right? Don Cheadle's like, and it's like, it's just, and it's like insane. Or you have like the punch line where it's like, oh, you're like Mexican, right? To his partner. And she's like, no. And it's like,
no.
Just because I speak Spanish doesn't mean I'm Mexican. It's just fucking crazy. I can't believe this movie exists.
Well, you know what? It's fine if it exists. It's crazy that it won the most prestigious award in cinema.
That's a way,
I could see it being on like Showtime at 2 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
I can't see it being in the annals of film history.
It is kind of crazy. I mean, it does seem like the kind of like race movie that the Academy often rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someday we'll cover Driving Miss Daisy. We'll cover Green Book. These movies where it's like the simplification of like racial relations and tensions.
Yeah.
Like that story. It's a very like white gazy story.
It's a very
the Academy loves that
big
shit.
Oversimplification. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Honestly, if you want to watch a better I mean, say it's a version. If you want to watch a better type, a movie like Crash, like that's like a stone cold masterpiece, watch Do the Right Thing, the Spike Lee movie. It's about intersecting narratives. It captures like the complexity of racial tension, and like it's like the fucking best movie ever made. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Go check it out.
10 out of 5 stars. Watch Do the Right Thing. This movie 1.5 out of 5.
If that.
It stinks. I do think it's very watchable though. Like you said,
it is
like,
watchable.
If I saw this at 2, if this was on TV, I might just keep it on because it's like every scene people are shouting, people are just like saying crazy shit, doing crazy shit. It's like kind of like riveting in that way.
Can we talk about the final scene?
The car crash?
The car crash, and then like people of all different races and credences just coming together to yell at each other in some weird form of poetry that's really just beyond my understanding.
I wrote down love that this movie ends on a punchline of like, ha ha, and the worst human tendencies just go on and on. See you later.
Bye bye. Hope you had fun.
It's like these tensions, this complicated racial relations, gender dynamics. It's all just going to keep going on because humans are fucking stupid. And it's like, what kind of fuck didn't... I watched the movie for that?
Yeah, what are we doing here? Why are we here?
Haggis, you hacked. Haggis.
You can't rag on Haggis too bad. He made a movie. He put
Well-
himself out there. It didn't really add up, but he did it. He's out there doing it. And take another shot at it. Why not? Maybe
He did. It was called The Next 3 Days and nobody saw it.
Oh, really?
I think
Was
that
it also
the
a
next
movie like this?
No, I think it's like a Russell Crowe like has to be broken out of prison because like he's, I don't know.
I think that's Haggis's wheelhouse. Stick
Yeah,
to the
like make like a
Bonds.
thriller.
Yeah.
Don't make like a social issues movie.
Sorry, bud. Or work on it in
Didn't-
private and
You didn't stick the landing, and frankly, you forgot to gas up the tank.
sometimes it happens.
Yeah,
We've all forgotten.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's Crash.
Ah, please don't cancel us.
You can try.
Yeah, try. I dare you. Actually, I dare you.
Yeah. Go for it.
Crazily enough, I
Hmm.
recommend watching it.
I also kind of recommend watching it. Like, as bad as it was,
It's like it has to be seen to be believed.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Would you like to hear the other Best Picture nominees?
My curiosity tickles me so.
There's at least 3 other ones that could have should have.
All right, hit me.
Arguably, this next one is. I haven't seen it. I always wanted to, though. It's like high on my list. It should have probably won the Oscar because I hear nothing but like profoundly good things about it. That is Ang Lee's seminal, honestly, at this point, seminal film, Brokeback Mountain,
Oh,
starring Jake Gyllenhaal and rest and fucking peace, Heath Ledger.
amen, brother.
About 2 modern-day cowboys who meet on a shepherding job in the summer of 1963, and the two share a raw and powerful summer together that turns into a lifelong relationship conflicting with the lives they are supposed to live.
Whoa. Cool.
I feel like if I watch it, it will devastate me, and I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I guess you just got to be in the right mind space for that.
Next up, we have Bennett Miller, director of Moneyball,
Oh,
the famous masterpiece. We have Capote, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, another actor gone too soon, which is just a biopic of the writer Truman Capote and his assignment for the New Yorker to write the nonfiction book In Cold Blood.
I don't know. Not my cup.
Yeah, I would watch it for FSH.
His name starts with F?
I say PSH.
Okay. Well, it's the sound. The sound is the same.
Next up, we have, I believe this is a George Clooney joint. Is this
Oh.
right? It is. George Clooney, his film Good Night and Good Luck. It's the story of journalist Edward R. Murrow's stand against Joseph McCarthy's anti-communist witch hunts in the early 1950s.
God, it's about time we heard from Clooney, huh?
He's too busy talking about boys in the boat, and I want to hear about good nights and good lucks.
Yeah. But this is the first mention of him, I believe.
Oh, in the
He's not-
Oscars, like
I think
Yeah.
in the pantheon of films that we've done thus far.
I think is this the only movie that he directed that was nominated for Best Picture? I think it is.
He directed this?
Yeah,
Clooney.
George Clooney. I mean, George Clooney has like he's like kind of especially recently. It's like he doesn't really act anymore, but he like directs. Like he's directed like 3 movies in the last 5 years or whatever.
Directing seems more fun.
Yeah,
Maybe, well, I don't know if it's more fun, but like you have more
control.
over your film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And Clooney's a guy who's got an eye.
Leatherheads? You ever seen Leatherheads?
I don't think I've ever heard of Leatherheads.
You ever seen fucking what's that one where they steal the art? Fucking
yeah.
Monuments Men?
No, I've also never seen Monuments Men. Sorry.
You ever see The Tender Bar?
In fact, I don't think I've ever seen any George Clooney movie.
I remember seeing Leatherheads with my dad in the theater, and we were both sort of like, that was boring.
That was kind of weak sauce.
What year
I've
was
seen
that?
Ocean's 12.
Didn't direct that,
Okay.
but he wishes he directed that.
It does, yeah.
And the final nominee, this or Brokeback should have won, personally.
Wait, this is it?
Yeah, there's only 5 nominees because it's modern era, so now they don't have like 12 to 15 nominees. They just have 5.
Okay.
It changes to 10, I think, in 2009.
The Dark Knight Effect.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Effect.
Got it.
The final film is, I think I'm gonna rewatch this movie because I have a take that Steven Spielberg made like a quiet trilogy about like Jewish identity, like globally, and then like Jewish American identity, like Schindler's List, this film, and then The Fabelmans. I think form like a kind of trilogy of like him like kind of exploring Jewish trauma and like important historical Jewish events and like shame and guilt and stuff. I don't know. The movie I'm talking about is Munich, of course.
Of course. Certainly. Is
movie-
that what time period does it take place?
So Munich is about during the 1972 Olympic Games in Munich, 11 Israeli athletes are taken hostage and murdered by a Palestinian terrorist group known as Black September. In retaliation, the Israeli government recruits a group of Mossad. Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
In retaliation, the Israeli government recruits a group of Mossad agents to track down and execute those responsible for the attack. Kind of a sort of a thorny movie to probably watch now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I like that take though. That it's
sort of like it's like a political thriller where like these guys are like planning executions against like the Palestinian like members of like this group that killed the Israeli athletes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Sounds
historical,
interesting.
but it's also like it's like a kind of interesting thriller. I don't know. It's a good movie. I've only seen it once. I also think the politics of it are like complicated, of course. So I think it warrants multiple viewings. Yeah.
Watch it 2 times. 2 times. 2 times.
Yeah, watch it 2
Spielberg.
times. This, Munich is another, because I think before we started recording, I brought up that he directed Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Munich 2005 was another year where he directed War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, which is another fucking incredible movie. And Munich, he directed both of those in the same year, or like they came out the same year.
War of the Worlds is an incredible movie.
I think its reputation is kind of bad. I don't really understand why. Like the last half an hour is maybe a little weak, but the first like 90 minutes of that movie are like some of the best shit you'll ever see.
All right. Add it to the list.
Yeah, it's the list. Those are the nominees. I don't think Crash is Best Picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no to that, Jack.
It's like a really good made-for-TV movie at best.
Yeah, sorry. I
At
mean,
best,
that's really
if
kinda-
that.
frankly.
Frankly,
I haven't seen any of the other nominees this year, but
I've only seen
this
Munich,
can't be it,
but
Chief.
I would put Munich over this shit. Jesus Christ.
Mike?
Yeah.
You want to hear what some of the folks had to say?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. You want to know
All right,
why I didn't think so? Because I did you a solid. Because you and I, we had some pretty negative things to say about this movie. Let's get some positivity going. Let's
I
see.
really have to hear what good people have to say about this movie.
I found some reviews from folks online about Crash.
You did.
Give me the name of somebody who just watched Crash.
All haggis.
All Haggis, 1 of 1 says. We'll start out with a 1 star for Paul Haggis. Paul Haggis did not like this very much.
Like his own movie. He's like, this sucks.
He watched it back. He's like, who the hell made this? It's garbage. Whenever I walk into a classroom filled with new students, I can always immediately pick out the spoiled rich kids who think they have an understanding of the real world, while really, they really don't. This film is one of those kids, and it's the worst kind. It thinks it's important, too. It's not. It's about as important as bleaching your anus or stuffing your face with Botox. Paul, go off.
I mean, get Botox if you feel like you need to get Botox. Bleach
Yeah, I
your
mean,
ass if you
we're
feel
not
like
gonna-
you need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to judge if that's something you feel like you got to do. It's
Yeah.
whatever. It's your body, dude.
Yeah, it's your body, maybe.
Give me the name of somebody who just watched Munich.
Eric Bana.
Bana says 5 stars. Perfect casting. I mean, you have to watch this if you want to see a good drama. Great plot. And the ending was even better. I like how they went through each character's story and then brought them all together.
This is the
People
first
like
movie
this.
this person ever saw.
But possibly, no, this is the first movie that this next person ever saw.
Okay.
Give me the name of somebody who just watched a movie.
Who's like a really old person who like wouldn't have seen a movie. Fucking Napoleon Bonaparte. Is that his name?
Yes.
Right? The little general?
Yes. Napoleon Bonaparte says 4 stars. Every member of the cast interacts with each other in this movie at least once, and all their stories intertwine in a domino effect. This movie is great cinema.
Well, I don't.
I mean, yeah, the characters interact.
That's a crazy thing to say.
I don't know if that's an asset to the film per se.
Characters have been interacting since stories were told.
It's kind of a new thing, actually, this whole interaction between characters. So I don't appreciate your tone. Give me the name of somebody who is really into rom-coms.
Me.
Nice. Michael O'Brien. This one's short and sweet. 5
Cool.
stars. Love Actually, but with racism.
Yeah,
Yeah, nailed it. You really
that's
did.
true.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why you
That's-
gave it 5 stars, but yes. Pretty much.
that is spot on.
Spot on, my friend. You do you.
We did it.
We did it. I'd slot it right between Grand Hotel and Gigi, I think.
Yeah, I think I have it about there too.
Okay, nice.
The thing is, like, I would watch it before like Grand Hotel, but I do think Grand Hotel is a better movie.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the ranking is funny because it's like, oh, I'd watch like Rain Man before I watch Gone with the Wind again. But I think Gone with the Wind is better. I think you disagree, but I think Gone with the Wind is better.
Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Yeah.
Don't be racist. Watch some movies. Watch some movies that read some books.
Well,
I-
let's be clear. This movie's not racist. It's just
Well, yeah.
not.
No,
it's
no, I don't
just-
think that. Well, that's an interesting question. Is the movie racist? I don't think it's.
No, I think it means well. It's just
I
really
think it
misplaced.
means well, but I also think it might perpetuate certain stereotypes
Okay, that's fair.
unintentionally,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't know. The movie's weird. Just if you want to learn about race in America, just let's keep it to America.
Mhm.
Don't go to the white guy who's writing James Bond movies. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There's
Don't go
other
to
people.
us either, by the way.
Don't go to us. Don't go to
Yeah,
us.
this is not. We're not the guys.
We're not the guys either. I'm just saying. Don't go to Paul Haggis.
Paul, love you, baby.
Should we keep up our? Should this be the cursed run of the? Should we keep up the cursed movies run?
Oh God. Yeah, sure. Why not?
All
Run it
Next
back.
week we're watching Annie Hall, the Woody Allen film.
Oh my God. Okay, fine.
Stream it for free on Tubi.
Is it on Tubi? Because I'll stream it.
It was on Max, but I imagine whoever was running that was like, hey, who the fuck put Annie Hall up there?
Yeah, if you're following along at home, just you can torrent this one, folks. We usually don't
Yeah, torrent
advocate,
this one,
but
steal it,
yeah,
from
a Blockbuster even.
or don't watch it. Don't do it
No.
from a Blockbuster.
They
Steal
need
it
the
from
money. Yeah,
the internet.
yeah, that's fair.
Don't steal it from a library.
No, I don't steal from Well, I mean, that's just renting it.
Do we want the
taking
movie
it
out of circulation? What is our
No.
plan? Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up
No,
with a
we don't
plan
want
for
to
next time.
silence the movie. We just want to
Not give money.
we don't want to
and
give
put-
money to Woody Allen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, you can go to the library. That's fine.
Yeah.
But also get a book or something.
Yeah, get a book.
Balance it out. Don't
Don't get one of Woody Allen's book of essays. That would be the wrong
Yeah, no.
direction.
No, get like, I don't know. Get just any other book, honestly. You're fine.
Literally any other book.
Hardy Boys. Go for it.
Get a Hardy Boys. Get a Nancy Drew.
Get a Nancy Drew. What a great series.
Get
a
a Family
Captain
Guy
America.
Mad Libs. It's better than Woody Allen.
Get Family Guy. Family Guy Mad Libs is better than Woody Allen. We'll go on record to say that.
We're out here shooting the shots that other people won't,
That's right.
and we're heroes for that.
That's right. We are certainly heroes for that.
Um,
All right, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert. I really like that. This is like a weirdly important movie.
Yeah,
By
I'm looking forward to
film
feeling very
development.
conflicted about this.
Yeah, I imagine stuff hasn't aged well.
All right, that
I
bodes
imagine
well.
it's still kind of impressive. I imagine it's still kind of funny. We'll see.
We'll see.
Tune in next week. That's going to be a weird episode. And go to a baseball game.
Now,
Yeah, right now. Who's playing the Yankees? Go to a Yankees game.
probably not.
Aaron Judge. Throw a hot dog at him.
No.
No, hold on. Call his name so he knows you're throwing it at him.
Okay.
He turns, he hits that sucker back at you.
Wow.
Right in your mouth.
What a
Swallow the
ballpark
whole thing.
experience.
Yeah.
No chewing.
Not you. Call it a
As
day.
should be. Call it a day. Yeah, go home after
If you start
that.
choking, you lose.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's
Be
weak
cool.
sauce.
Be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, be cool. Is baseball a good first date? Like a baseball game? No, right? Not a
Why
first
not?
date.
Baseball's kind. You know what? It's a little
Like
bit
a
high
third date.
It's a bit high commitment for a first date.
Yeah.
Like
a third
Yeah.
date.
it's a fun like third date, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Make sure it's your third date.
yeah.
Choke
So in
on
that
a hot
case, if-
dog and then seal the deal afterwards.
Yeah, if you're at Shitty Field,
Nice.
Lady and Tramp a hot dog between you and your lover.
That's nice.
And you'll seal it with a little kiss.
Nice.
Mustard style.
I can get behind that.
Anyway. See you next week. Wieners. Weird episode.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. These boys are the Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners.
Cut this out. Don't take what I'm about to say and make it, for instance, the cold ender of the show, like after the credits, for instance. Don't do that.
Won't do this?
Because I wouldn't want to be on record. Yeah, don't
Okay.
make this the cold close. But
Okay. And don't take this out of context?
yeah, don't take this out of context. Certainly, I'm not doing all this ramp up so you can then use it. I wouldn't be doing that because that's just not me.
Okay.
Woody Allen is a good director and has made many good movies. Is the really fucked up thing about it.
Wait, sorry. Can we just get it clean?
Get it clean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Woody Allen is a good director and has made many good movies.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Okay, we got it. Not
Really
saying that we got anything, but whatever. We got it. Let's just say we got it.
Sorry, I'm getting an email from my boss. I've been fired?
Already?